Hello, welcome to an episode of Midnight Love Tarot. I haven't stayed up late in a while to do these, but I had Venus and a little. Sorry, I forgot the exact transit. Let me read it here. Sorry. I had Venus sextile Pluto. And then this morning I had Venus conjunction Neptune like around 6:39. So I started my reading like around 7, and then now I have like Venus moved over and now like that 1 degree, and like a few hours ago made exact the sextile to Pluto. And so what happens is that like you have to make an effort to sort of like, look at some really deep things in your love relationship. And I really did do that. And it was kind of fruitful because I had like some really cool things that really happened where when Pluto wants to like kind of reveal things to you on that day, it kind of doesn't hold back. And a lot of times, you can kind of be angry and compulsive, and might want to reach out to that person or something like that if it was something bad. But in my case, I just wanted to like reflect a little bit and like what's gone on in my life and how do I feel and all this other things. And it was actually really, really good. And so then it turned out to be like it was close to midnight. And I'm like, you know what? If I just push myself here, I could do a midnight love reading. So as I began to do this, it was a little bit of like a sort of like a continuation, just like this Venus was continuing to go over from 20 degrees to 21 degrees and go from like, Neptune to Pluto. There are some things in this reading that kind of like are the same. Like say for instance that the fact that like the guardian angel message is to ask for support, and then the truth is unveiled is like the number before the other message that we had before from the lesson. And another one here is that the depiction before was someone we do things for acceptance, but now we're doing things to belong. And I'll start off with that oracle one first, and I was talking about how unition, common goals, shared values, at one with others. Anyways, it's probably not love that makes the world go round, but rather those mutually supportive alliances through which partners recognize their dependence on each other for the achievement of a shared and private goal. I mean, if you got somebody in your life that gives you something that nobody else gives, that's value, and that's what you should be valuing. Plain and simple. That's what that thing was trying to say. All right, moving on. So, enjoy the little things. It's so true, though. Like, while I was having to just sit through all that stuff, I decided to do some self-care, give myself a little pedicure and stuff like that while I was just listening to some really amazing things and kind of reevaluating things about my Venus sextile Pluto, because it makes you have to deal with those two kinds of issues. Venus, love, money, people, things, what, this, that. It was a fruitful day. I had like a few things that I got done and I felt good about myself and I loved it. So you want to get some juice over here about what it is that Isis wants the truth revealed? It sounds like a whole lot of gossip to me, and I'm there with that. All right, here we go. Truths Unveiled, the revelation of Isis. Truths Unveiled, the revelation of Isis. There are times when appearances of people, places, and things are truly deceptive. You will sense this when something feels uncomfortable within you, when you notice feelings of anxiety or doubt within you, You may think that there's something wrong with you, but actually, there is intuitively sensing that all is not as it appears to be. It is wise to trust your inner feelings rather than being convinced by outward appearance. There's a situation in your life, especially involving relationships, where something is not as it's being made out to be. To avoid undue suffering later on, Isis guides you to the truth and revelation now. Let's read that revelation. It says, the revelation of Isis is needed when something or someone is not as it outwardly appears to be. No matter how sacred it may seem, a spiritual person, a family relationship, a shared history, there are times when, although there is more painful to admit the truth in short term, in the long term it will save you much suffering and feelings of being duped, misled, manipulated, used, and abused. It will also make it more likely that the situation or relationship can grow into a healthier expression if possible. You cannot heal what is not revealed. Isis is with you to help you realize the truth, to admit that you probably already sensed it anyway, and make it wise of these revelations now. The oracle of truth speaks of a time soon to come when you'd realize a true perception, when you thought was trustworthy, legitimate, or reliable may turn to sand, crumbling before your eyes. This may be a friendship, a job, an offer, or some kind of even behavior of a loved one, causing you to question the real commitment or respect in a family or romantic relationship. What is important here is to realize that when you see the truth, you can act appropriately. You will proceed with inappropriate expectations, and you can reassess your boundaries and priorities to get the most out of a situation and not to suffer undue disappointment later on. Isis was betrayed by her brother, Set, who, out of his great jealousy, murdered her beloved Osiris. Now Isis was able to demonstrate the great spiritual strength and healing power to resurrect her beloved Osiris, and all was not lost. She also learned a painful, valuable lesson that it's wise to take our intuitive feelings seriously and to recognize a snake in the grass when there is one. When pregnant with her divine child Horus, she ran and hid from Set, recognizing that he was destructive and dangerous, honoring what she knew and not pretending that it was just for fun, and doing her child was able to be born. Wow. What a thing. I didn't really mean to get so deep, but it is a love tarot, and it's about love, and it's about trusting. So there's some truths to be veiled. So while we're in this wonderful Pluto, let's get to see what they're talking about. Wow, a little restoration of hope and dreams. Yeah. You know what? Sometimes when you do all the right things and you evaluate yourself, the right things do come back in the right times to you. And you should be doing that because the same card is in the same place. I told you this reading was echoing like the same one from yesterday, and now from this morning, and now here we are. Like, holy crap, that's so wonderful. Where are we going today now? Oh my God, triumph and success. It's an ace, an ace of swords. And it's coming out of, it's cutting through the darkness here. Where does it go here? Wow. The same cards again. Guy law, what is this? This is nonsense. This really is continuing here. That's super amazing. Wow. What do we have here? Six of Cups. Yeah, some memories of love is just really causing this. And a King of Pentacles. was looking back here, a little transmutation of some of the past things here, and some nightmares. Wow. What else here? And some news coming after leaving some crazy times behind. Well. Let's see what this hope is in a moment about. What are we hoping about for some new changes to come? What's at the heart of this reading? 10 of Pentacles. Yeah. We want the whole dream. All of us. That's what they have here for us. What do we have here? A 6 of Wands. Yes. To match up with the triumphant success is a 6 of Wands. Wow. So we might be worried about a lot of things in our lives here, but the moment saying that we're killing it. Let's see what this whole victory over here is about. An Ace of Swords. Wow. An Ace of Swords with an Ace of Swords. Yeah, some solid communications coming here. What else? Yeah, some solid communication. The 8 of Wands with the Ace of Swords. Yeah. And the 6 of Wands. Yeah. The 10 of Pentacles. You need 2 people for that. You gotta have somebody to look back for. So, it's someone. And what do we have? A 3 of Pentacles. The whole thing says that a big wish comes true. And yes, here it is. Positive movement and triumphant success. Just like the most positive reading ever. Let's see what happens here in the end. Yeah, look, I have the same thing. The Magician's here to do what is needed. How do we finish here? A Hierophant looking it over. And it seems like as though the looking over is over with. Wow. Well, maybe Iris's revelation isn't always like a bad thing. Maybe someone hasn't told someone the truth about how they really feel, and now they're here. They have it in their hand, and they're walking with a victory, and they're coming back from looking for a long time, and they want to make this partnership. In a line here, it's all Pentacles. You go from Hope to 10 of Pentacles to 3 of Pentacles. Well, this is a super positive reading for a Midnight Love Tarot. I hope you enjoy it. Wow, it surprised me too.